Hey Mutant Nation, Big Ron Partlow here, and I'm at West Coast Iron, the home of Mutant Nation when you're in Port Coquitlam, BC. And I have with me Kellen Wilson. Good to see you, Kellen.
How you doing, Ron?
You bet. We're doing a special little interview for Mutant Nation so you can get to know Kellen better. And you're headed to your second Mr. Olympia.
That is right. That is right.
For the Classic division. So we thought, you know, we've got to celebrate this and make sure your face gets out on the YouTube a lot this year.
Yes, sir.
You know, so tell us about your year. Like you did the Classic Olympia last year, and then what? Like, what's the mindset now a year ago?
Yeah, I competed in last year's Olympia, my first Olympia. It was an amazing experience. I went in there just no expectations, enjoying it, soaking all it in, being in the moment. And then after getting off the Olympia stage, I reflected my performance, and I was definitely humbled.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of bigger guys, more condition. I had a lot of work to do. So
wasn't there 50 some guys?
Oh, 50, 60 guys, a lot of guys. So luckily I placed around the halfway range, 35th. So I was proud of myself. Going into this year, man, I just wanted to put no limitations on myself.
Yeah.
And really improve my placing and, you know, put Canada on my back and make Canada proud.
Yeah, man. Well, you did it with 2 wins. Were they back-to-back wins? You won 2 shows in a row, didn't you?
Yeah, that was correct. Yeah. Chicago and Vancouver.
Yeah, man. So what were your thoughts going into Chicago? I mean, those of you that don't know, you train at this gym quite often. Like I see you every weekend at least, so you make the drive to come in here on the weekends. And, you know, so I mean, you've been in fantastic condition for a long time. Like 4 or 5 months ago, I was seeing you in here and I was like, oh, it looks like you could hop in a show coming up. But you held off, didn't you?
Yeah, I held off. The reason for Chicago was I did it last year, a week after Vancouver, where I qualified last year for last year's Olympia.
Yeah.
I placed second at Chicago last year, and it was an amazing show. I was in front of Steve Weinberger.
Yeah.
So I got some good information back on what I need to work on, and I wanted to come back and I wanted to win that show.
Yeah.
So we did that. We secured the qualification, and you know, going into Vancouver, it's a hometown show, so why not?
Yeah.
So that's why we competed there too as
Hopped
well.
in, got back-to-back wins.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So tell us about 2 things I want to get into. Well, first, let's talk about last year. You're at the Classic Olympia. You're backstage. It also happens to be what I think a lot of people thought. He didn't say it till after, but Bumstead's last ride.
That's correct.
So, you know, I always think for everyone who was in that show, you know, they'll get to say, you know, I was in Chris's last show. Was there any of that going on? Were people talking at all? Was that like was that in the air at all? Were people like, oh, Chris's last one? Were anyone saying anything?
For me personally, no.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking it was.
Yeah.
I was just happy to know after that I was on stage with them for his last Olympia.
Yeah.
So it was a good experience.
And he's obviously Canadian, so we have a little bit extra pull for Bumstead, you know, we love him. So, you know, in this gym especially, so I just thought that was cool, you know, that, you know, you got to kind of be in the last one with him. And
very grateful for that. Yeah, very grateful for that.
You know, I always think of the guys that have done all the Olympias over the years and who was the winner of that one? Like, which one were you in, you know? Like, kind of cool.
Pretty cool. It's actually a funny story with Chris. He was here training and he actually approached me when I was posing. He was like, you have an amazing physique. And I was a little stuttered and starstruck.
Oh, right.
You're Mr. Olympia. You're telling me I have an amazing physique. So that was the first time I met him. He was very humble, very nice to me, and motivated me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Time, so.
Yeah. He motivated everyone when he was around. The second thing I wanted to ask you is, we hear it from everyone now, but you said, you know, we wanted to come back with a better package. We thought we could take the show, right? What does that mean to you when you say we? I know you've got a coach you're very tight with and a group of people around you, but why don't you tell Mutant Nation who is the we in Kellen's world?
Well, the we, it's a huge span. You know, obviously Mutant Nation, this gym, guys like you, guys that kind of give me a platform to do what I do and motivate me to compete in bodybuilding and be the best in the world. So when I talk about we, it's my fans, it's you guys, this gym, my coach, my family, my friends, all those people.
Yeah, that's cool. Because, you know, I know you're in with a very tight group. You know, when you come in here, you guys have your, you know, you're always banging chest on Saturdays, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. It's just good to see, you know. And what do you think, what role do you think the kind of the core group plays in the bodybuilder's success? I mean, we do know of guys that seemingly are kind of that lone horse a lone wolf type of guy. You know, we know some of those champions, but then there's, you know, people that really build a crew around them. You know, what do you think of the importance of that?
I think it's very important to be successful in this game. I think having a good coach, having a good team behind you is very important. A good gym, a good crowd in your gym that supports you, motivates you.
Yeah.
And last but not least, a good woman. You know, my fiance is a hard ass with me, for so to speak, and pushes me to be great. So, you know, a lot of shows that I go to, she tells me, if you're not winning, don't come back.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, it definitely motivates me. So all those things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool. You got to have people around you pushing you. You know, that I always had a fear of like accidentally surrounding myself with yes men, they call them. You know, like you want to accidentally do that.
That's the worst.
You know what I mean?
That's the worst.
And sometimes it can accidentally happen. Like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
So okay, well, I'm very happy for you. I remember when you started training here. Like, when was the first time you came in here? It was right after we opened. It wouldn't have been too far into us opening.
Right after you opened, it was on my birthday, May 19th.
Do you remember what year? Was it 2018 or 17 or 19 or what?
I think it was 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember I was I've been training for a while, you know, I'm in the gym for a while. I remember I was doing the pendulum squat. I don't know if you remember this, but
yeah, we just got it. We just bought the pendulum.
I ended up loading the plates on the hook bar.
The hook bar in front.
And Ron came running over and he was like, you can't do that. They're going to break and they're going to crush your knees.
The pin's in the back.
And I said, oh my bad. I didn't know, right? So I came a long way since then.
It's funny because after you did that, I thought, oh, wow. I could see how someone would think they would have 2 loading pins.
Yeah.
Because like all the machines, there's so many, you know, with the prime and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then not long after that, like days after that, someone else did the same thing.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, oh, wow, a lot of people just, because that was back when the pendulum was kind of a new piece.
Yes.
Like not everyone had used it, you know? And it was funny. I've told that story before too, and the fact that 2 people did it.
Yeah.
So you weren't alone.
Okay,
you weren't alone in that one. Just trying to keep you safe, man.
That's good.
You know, what about what about the industry? Talk business for a second. You know, like, are you just focused on the show? Do you also think about Kellen as a brand? Do you think about what you can do beyond your competing? Do you think like, you know, your clients and training people? What's sort of your sort of position on yourself in the industry right now and your goals?
Yeah, so obviously I know there's life beyond bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, there's a shelf life to this, and I am definitely setting myself up to have something after this bodybuilding career is done. But the main thing is definitely helping my coaching athletes, and I do personal training as well.
Yeah.
But I'm only taking people that I like to train and that have that drive, that have that in them.
Especially at this point when you're at that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not a big, I don't care much to be the richest guy and have the biggest house. You know, I just want to enjoy what I do and make work not feel like work.
Right.
So definitely,
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do? Like, you know, I struggle. I got to remind myself, I got to post on social media. Like, I better do a video today in the gym and put one up. You know, like I got to remind myself, how are you with this stuff? I know you're kind of the generation after me. Are you finding it easier? Has it come more natural?
You know, it's never easy because it definitely takes a little bit of focus away from the workout. But you know, we have obligations as sponsored athletes.
Yeah,
you gotta do
not going to complain about the additional benefits that come with.
I'm living a life that a lot of people dream of, and if it takes me setting up a tripod and filming my workouts, then that's what I got to do.
Yeah, right? No. I've also tried to like embrace the opportunities that we get with the phones and the media, and not be, you know, grumpy about it. I guess, you know, it's nothing. It doesn't do you any good.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't.
Just yeah. So what about the actual training? Because I love talking about training. I love talking about, you know, mindset while training. How do you describe your training style? What are your principles that you're really focused on when you're in the gym, you know?
Yeah, so definitely more on the hardcore aspect, a lot of 4 sets, you know, train till failure. Obviously we pull it back when we're closer to the show, but I believe in high intensity and 100% intent behind your sets and reps.
Right.
So I'm not one to keep reps and reserves. I like to go all into my training and leave it all on the table. So to speak.
Would you say you do kind of the typical kind of top set, back off set for a lot of things, or how do you structure your work sets?
It's a mix between Dorian Yates training and Milos. So I like giant sets.
Right.
I like the Dorian Yates.
You like heavy basics, but you do some giant set stuff as well.
Yeah. So
and some pump
flip-flop
stuff.
between the two. Yeah.
Yeah. I always see you going hard in here. And you guys are always training to failure too. You know, it's going hard. So, and I mean, I remember when you joined here, I remember thinking you had a great physique, but I was like, oh man, he's gonna have to, you know, pack a lot of size on, and then you did.
Yeah.
I think your stage weight was like was it high 170s back then?
170s, yeah.
You know, and now your stage weight's what, like
212.
212. Yeah. So I mean, the amount of size you packed on it, you know, transformed your physique. What do you think has been the biggest victory in your physique? Because everyone's got those stubborn issues or things they're worried about, and now you're at an Olympia level 2 years in a row, so I know it's not a fluke. You're winning pro shows. What improvement are you the most proud of?
My legs.
Right.
My legs. I was a skinny kid growing up. I didn't have the best legs, and I mean, you know this, Ron. It takes a lot of work to grow legs.
Yeah.
You can't just, you know, get legs overnight.
Yeah.
So a lot of years of hard training, heavy squats, nosebleeds, all that type of shit.
Yeah.
But it paid off, so I'm very happy about that.
No, I remember you squatting 5 plates in here at like a body weight of 220 or even 200.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what you weighed back then when you were squatting
190, 200, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, 200 pounds squatting 5 plates in here. I remember that. And, you know, I remember, you know, you going, you know, brutal failure on the hack squat and stuff. And that's why it's been not a surprise. Like, you know, I've seen a lot of people come up and say they want to be pros and say they want to go to the Olympia, but there's certain people I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't surprise me, you know?
Right.
So, you know, if you would have just fast forwarded from 7 years ago to now, and I would have been like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, he made it to the
Makes sense, yeah.
Makes sense. Because, you know, it is, you do see certain people in the gym have another level of drive and focus and consistency and determination, and just seems to come out of them. And, you know, I think that's what you bring to any gym you're training in, you know?
Thank
you know, how do you feel about your role that, you know, in most gyms, in almost every gym you're going to go into at any given time, you're going to be the only Olympian, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big privilege, but I also got to remind myself I'm a professional and I got to carry myself like a professional. So, you know, being very, very respectful, and putting away your weights, cleaning your machines.
Right.
You know, not expecting a free drop-in, paying for your drop-in just like any other person, you know? Carrying yourself like a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. What about, you know, your goals for this show? So we talked about last year, we talked about the wins. Now you're headed to the Olympia for the second time. So now, just looking at that, what's the goal? What do you think you can do this year that you didn't do last year?
Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Okay. And what makes you feel that way? You've got incredible consistency with conditioning, right? That's a big thing, is consistency.
Huge.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Huge. Yeah, no,
Just
sorry.
saying.
You're on the right track. Conditioning is a big one.
Yeah.
These guys at Olympia, they bring a new standard of conditioning, especially that top 10 to top 15. I obviously needed to work on bringing up a certain body punch, which I did from last year. Now that just the goal is just to come in peeled and stripped out and make a statement.
Right. What did you see at last year's show that, you know, as far as like development, that really, is there any pinpoint, like, that guy's back I thought about all year, or I thought about that pose all year. I saw that, you know, I saw so-and-so hit his side chest and I thought, man, I got to be that level. Is there anything you can think of from last year?
You know, there's 3 points I've seen. First, obviously, I was in a lineup with Chris for our comparisons, and I looked back at the pictures and videos and I said, I look like his child. Very small compared to him.
Right.
So size was a big one. The other thing is I have a great back.
Right. Yeah, you have very good back.
Great back. When I got to Olympia, I seen guys like Breon.
Right.
I said, my back's not great compared to his.
Right.
So we improved that. And then I seen the young and up-and-comer Jose Ma. He placed in the first call-out. He was peeled and stripped out from the back. I said, okay, we need to be like that.
Right.
So I took all these points, I applied it with my coach, and that's what we're going to do this year.
Yeah. You just thought about that. Yeah. So what are you doing now? You're, 6, 7 weeks out?
Yeah, 7 weeks out.
So where are you at in the diet, the body weight? I mean, you were just shredded for half the year. So, I mean, did you take a little break? I mean, you know.
So after Vancouver, we added back some food to get back to homeostasis, started feeling proper again. Just this week going forward, my coach told me we're going to drop the hammer, as he chose to speak, and lower the food, and start getting in conditioning shape for stage.
Right. How many pounds do you think you have to drop?
Well, I'm about 215 right now, so we're within striking distance. My cap is 212.
Okay.
So we're good, but we want to come in shredded. So a little bit under the cap would be ideal.
Yeah, yeah. What would be some advice that you would give to a competitor, you know, a kid who's following you and he wants to be in Classic and he's thinking of doing his first show and he's slugging away in the gym? What would be some advice you'd give him?
I would tell him, go all in on everything that you're doing. Don't leave anything to chance. Whether that's in the gym, at home, prepping your meals, your cardio, your posing, your mobility work, your stretching, and keep your confidence high. And don't listen to the naysayers. You know, you're gonna have people that tell you you can't do this or whatever it may be. I've had a lot of people tell me that too, and I just kept with pursuing my dream. And one thing I live by is if you do the right things long enough, the right things will happen.
Right, right.
This didn't happen overnight for me. You know, it may happen for that person in 5 years. It may happen in 10 years.
Right.
But just stick to your goal.
What are your favorite parts of Classic Physique culture? Like when you think of what Classic Physique is, if you're trying to describe it to somebody, what would be some of the best parts of it that you would?
The camaraderie.
Camaraderie?
The guys are so nice. There's not a lot of shit talking as per se.
Right.
Everyone's very humble.
It do seem like a very good group of guys all the time. You know,
Yes.
It seems like you see pictures of the top 5 or 6 guys always training together and that sort of thing. It's like common at events and stuff.
I love that about the sport. I love it.
Yeah. You know, it's something that, you know, wasn't around when I was competing, right? And I've seen the evolution of the Classic Physique division,
Yeah.
you know, come up. And you know, I mean, it's funny that, you know, some of my favorite bodybuilding physiques are Classic Physiques. Like they're
that's
classic
awesome.
guys. Like, you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
like you have to walk around looking like a guy. You know, a lot of the guys I'd pick now.
Or Classic Physique.
Classic Physique guys,
Yeah.
you know? So who would be your all-time, what's your, you know, your Mount Rushmore bodybuilding? Who are your front of
Mount
4 guys?
Rushmore. Obviously, Ronnie's going to be number 1.
Okay.
Chris is going to be up there.
Okay.
Flex Wheeler.
Okay.
And one more, I would have to say Melvin Anthony.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you posing fan of him?
Big fan.
What's posing mean to you? Like, I know your routine is fantastic. I've seen it. You know, we were very spoiled at the Vancouver Pro because we had you and our friend John Lee.
John Lee, yeah.
Who was like a phenomenal poser. Like
Yeah.
that was some of the best posing you're going to see at any pro show of the whole year.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
but what's it mean to you?
Posing is it's very unique because it helps you bring who you are to the stage, right? The judges want to see who you are when you pose. So bringing that aspect to the stage is very important, and I like that you can show who you are within your posing routine.
Right. Right. I wanted to ask you some rapid fire stuff now,
Let's do
just
it.
for all the bodybuilders. You know, the typical bro questions that we got to ask. What's Kellen's go-to cheat meal?
Chicken wings, hot chicken wings.
Oh, really?
Spicy chicken wings, yeah.
Oh, that's not common. That's
No.
not like, you know.
I know
most
the
people-
protein's low, but hot chicken wings is
No,
my
no,
thing.
it's high. It's
Yeah,
high.
it's got to eat a lot of it.
It's high. It's
Yeah.
got to eat a lot of it. Yeah. What's your favorite classic bodybuilding pose?
The quarter twisting back double bicep.
The 3/4. You
Yeah.
got a great one. That's a great one. And you do it correctly too.
Thank you.
Because the thing that irks me is when guys lean on their front leg.
Yeah, they
Like
don't
you got
open
to
up.
sit on both legs evenly, you
You
know?
have to, yeah.
See, he knows what I'm talking. All I have to do is say that, and he's like, "Yeah, I know what you mean," because he knows how to do a 3/4 back double. Who's the most underrated bodybuilder ever?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Oh, God, I would have to say... It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Right now?
Oh, I don't know. Ever. Who didn't get their flowers?
I would say Kevin Wilson.
Kevin Levrone, just not having that O.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's not a bad answer. Like, even though he's rated as one of the greats, he's still underrated.
He's still
right.
underrated.
Because that's the trick question, right? People think, oh, well, he's rated high. Yeah, but is he underrated?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is right now? I know Mike Sommerfeld was second last year. We've had a bunch of other great shows this year. Who do you truly feel coming into this show is the heir apparent? Do you think it is still Mike from last year?
Terrence Ruff.
Terrence.
I gotta show love, Terrence Ruff.
Okay. He's something else. He's something else. Put on a lot of size this year,
He
too.
did. He did.
Who's your dream training partner, dead or alive?
Oh God, I gotta pick one.
One workout. You get to train with somebody once, dead or alive, and you can go back in time. Could be any time period, we'll say. So you can catch them at their best.
It'd have to be Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie. Okay, yeah. No, I was watching a Ronnie video the other day, and he was doing preacher curls.
Yeah.
And like at the top of the rep, like he was kind of past vertical.
Yeah.
So his bicep like totally relaxed on every rep, you know?
Oh,
so it's kind of
wow.
but it didn't matter.
No, not
He
at all.
He's still just repped out, you know?
Not at all. It's
And, like,
Ronnie.
he didn't worry about any of that stuff.
No.
And that was like kind of like the most charming thing about Ronnie looking back now is he didn't worry about anything. There's
Nonchalant.
Yeah. So it's something else. Yeah, that's a great answer, you know. It'd be in Metroflex in the summertime or something, 120 degree heat.
A dream.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, good luck this year.
Thank you.
We're all rooting for you. Kellen Wilson, going to your second Mr. Olympia. I have a saying, you got to, do two to make it true. That's a saying.
You gotta do two to make it
Right?
true.
If you do something once, it can be a fluke. But, second time going to the O, you can't be denied. How many pro shows you won now? 3?
3 pro shows.
I mean, you're racking them up.
Yeah.
So they got to watch out for you.
Oh yeah.
And Steve knows who you are.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Kellen Wilson, Mutant Nation. I'm Big Ron, and I'm out.